Hello, everybody. Happy Monday and Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. And I need to start with a story today. So last Wednesday, you may remember the stock market cratered 1,100 points all at once. Gold got hammered. Everything dropped. Well, that evening, I was giving a speech to investors, and one of our clients was there. Her name was Anne. And she just walked up and she said, "What happened?" And I told her, well, the Federal Reserve said they're not going to cut interest rates as much next year as they said they were going to cut. And as a result, it was kind of the mainstream answer. And it's really all I had at the time. But after I gave the talk and was driving home, I thought, I didn't really give a good answer to Anne. And Anne, I owe you a better answer. There's more to it than this. It wasn't just what the Fed said, it's the message they sent. And I didn't really get it, and it didn't coalesce for me until the next morning. And I went in and leaning against the door frame of Walt's office, and Walt said, "Have you seen the 10-year Treasury yield?" I said, "No." He says, "It's shooting up." And I thought, this is it. What the market is saying isn't about interest rates next year as much as it is the markets are losing faith in the Fed. And this is a big deal because the whole system is based on confidence. And the Fed very much tries to, curate this impression that they're running the show, they're in charge, they know what's going on, they've got the best data. And I'll show you just kind of proof of it. Let's look at some Time magazine covers from the last over 25 years. Here's one, February 15th, 1999. Look at that headline. Committee to Save the World? Oh my gosh. Basically, these guys can save the entire financial world. Oh my gosh, they've got to be geniuses. And if you think that was kind of a one off, no. This is from 10 years later, 2009. Ben Bernanke, the chairman of the Federal Reserve. And by the way, in our world, a lot of us don't view him with very positive glasses. Anyways, man of the year. Oh, they must know how to really run the show. This year. Now, this was what? Man of the year for Time? Basically, he was interviewing for the job, and Time magazine was basically throwing out these teasers on who was, but another Fed chairman. And the idea that they want to get across is, don't worry, we've got things under control. But the reality is the Federal Reserve is flailing about. And let me show you how they made the decision or the messaging. Oh, next year we probably won't cut rates as much as we say we're going to. They have been all over the board on this over the past 18 months. And this is what they're operating on. This is called the dot plot. All right, what is this? What these dots represent are what the 7 governors on the Fed board and the presidents of the 12 regional banks believe short-term interest rates should be. And each dot represents their opinion. What? You guys are making decisions based on dots, on people's opinions, just kind of going like this. And every quarter, you are changing your mind about interest rates for all of the next year. And they have flip flopped 3 times in the last 12 months about the direction of interest rates. And I think the markets are beginning to think, you guys aren't the masters of the universe. And if the system is based on confidence and we don't have confidence in you, that's going to show up in interest rates. People are going to want to get paid more for taking the risk, which is what Walt noticed Thursday morning. So we'll have more on this, but in the meantime, have a Merry Christmas. The world's not falling apart this week. And by the way, I'll give you some good news on that. You've heard me talk about how our government has been flailing about. Oh, breaking Wall Street Journal story, breaking from the very first day of the Biden administration. They talked about how President Biden really was not all there, and they hid it for 4 years. And you wonder why the State Department was doing one thing and Department of Defense another, and Energy and Commerce, and there was no direction. There is direction coming out of the Trump administration, at least early right now. That is very good. And it's a good thing that we want to hope for. I don't mind the fights as long as there's some direction and someone at the head of the table. So, good news there. We just need someone at the head of the table for the Fed. So, with that, I will turn it over to Walt. And again, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah.